Okay, I think I'm in frame. I don't know. I'm like shaking right now, making this video. I just made a really crazy decision. And I'm like freaking out internally. So I'm doing what I always do and I'm making a video about it. So I just rejected a job offer that I was gonna take. But after a lot of internal thinking and I guess kind of soul searching, I decided not to take this job. If you guys watched my video that I made, I think back in like February, I quit my 9-to-5. I had a 9-to-5 job. I was a remote customer service agent essentially. And I hated that job. You know, not anything against customer service or anything like that, but I just knew internally that I was dying. And I quit the job, not wanting to pursue YouTube full time, but I quit the job because I just wasn't happy. And if you guys have known me for any length of time, you know, I've had multiple YouTube channels, multiple social medias, and me and my best friend, RJ, we used to make funny skits and stuff like that from the time I was like 13, probably 14. Up until he passed when I was 25. And he did unfortunately take his own life due to a lot of circumstances. Honestly, because I read the note that he wrote when he did pass, and a lot of it was due to financial uncertainty. He didn't have a lot of money, and he was such a creative person. He felt like he couldn't pursue those avenues because of financial decisions, I guess, or not having money essentially. And so he had to take a job that he didn't particularly like just to pay his bills. And that left him feeling creationless, not creative. And so after he died, I like mentally and internally took all my creative passion and I suppressed it so that I could take jobs that make money so that I wouldn't end up in a situation like RJ where I didn't have money. And I ended up taking jobs that I hated that paid great. I think at my peak, I was making like $110,000 a year when I did my 2023 taxes. But I was dying on the inside, you know? And I sold my house and I finally got a little bit of pocket change. But I still ended up taking jobs that I did not like. And I was searching for meaning and I was searching for purpose. And I wasn't getting that in the jobs that I was taking. When I quit my job, the video that I talked about back in February, I really started ramping up this YouTube and filming videos. And that felt really meaningful to me. That has always been something. I think my earliest video, I was like 9 years old. I've always had a camera in my hands.
Here we go, Storm.
But I've never really treated it like a job. I've always just kind of like done it when I felt like it. Even back in 2018, when I lived with RJ, you know, we talked about taking a year off of work and just doing something full time. And I had the money saved up at the time. I think I had like 20 grand, but RJ didn't. And so that's why we didn't end up doing it. Anyways, I say all that to say that, you know, I'm finally in a place financially where I can afford to take a risk like this. You know, I don't have a mortgage now. I used to have a mortgage. I don't have children. I don't have a wife or even a girlfriend. I still find myself seeking comfort, seeking predictability. And full transparency, you know, I made that video where I talked about I'm not going to take a job and I'm going to go at this. I still freaked out a little bit and I applied for a job at a local community college being an academic advisor. And my thinking was, well, academic advisor, I'd help people sign up for classes, help them just in general be motivated about bettering their life through education. And I thought that would be really meaningful. And I do think that's really meaningful. I think that's very meaningful work for the right person. But there's a difference in... Zeus, come here. What you doing, big guy? Oh, this is my mom's dog, Zeus. He's about 15. And he's hard of hearing, but he's a goober. He's a goober boy. And he loves the cuddles. He loves the pets. Not that that job isn't meaningful. I think it's very meaningful, but I think there's a difference between a job being meaningful and doing what you find to be meaningful, you know? Being a nurse, being a doctor, being a social worker are all meaningful jobs, but if you're not particularly fond of patients or just people in general, or you don't find the work itself, like the job itself, like fulfilling, then it doesn't matter how much meaning you're getting out of it. You're not going to like it. The last thing I want to do is be a bad employee for somebody, right? Like if I'm not going to give my all to something, then I don't deserve to have the job, if I'm being honest. So literally, like, I was supposed to start on Wednesday. Today's a Monday. And I just basically let them know that I just reached out and I let them know that, you know, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm not going to take it. And that's really scary. I don't want to make content just to make content. I want to make content that I enjoy, that you guys enjoy. I don't want to be one of those people who's like pushing stuff just to make a quick buck. That's not why I want to do any of this, you know, but we do live in a capitalist society that requires you to make an income. So I'm close to monetizing my YouTube. I'm also on TikTok, a little bit of a different vibe over there if you follow me, but close to monetizing that. And I can finally kind of see a proof of concept with the stuff that I'm putting out to where it's being received, you know? And I don't know where this is going to take me. I really don't. But I know that if I don't do this, I'll always wonder what if, you know? And I would rather do something and fail and fall flat on my face than not do something and always wonder what if. Like if I give this thing a real shot, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and I spend 20 or 30 grand in the process, you know, over the next couple of years of just living, and it doesn't work out, then I can honestly say that was 20 or 30 grand well spent. I can honestly say that was a year or two of my life well spent. And if it doesn't work out, look, I'll go get a regular job. I'll go back into sales or whatever it is that someone wants to hire me for. And I can just look back and be like, you know what, I tried. But taking something out of fear and taking something because I'm scared to try, I can't live with myself with that. So I hope that this inspires you if you're in a similar position, or even if you're not, even if you do have kids, if you do have a spouse, if you do have a mortgage, you can still do these things. You can still pursue your passion, you know? I would say be smart about it, have a plan. You know, I have a plan now. I've had a plan, but I'm really locking in on this plan to produce a video or two every week or two, to post content on all my social medias and stuff like that. And I really hate the term content creator and I really hate the term influencer, because it has this like such weird, cringy, negative connotation. So I'm labeling it that I'm documenting my life. And I hope that you guys enjoy this life that I'm documenting. I hope that you'll find value in it. My biggest thing is like, I want to provide meaningful value to other people. And that's why I love doing these little talks, because I feel like I'm not the only person who thinks this way. And I recognize this is very like an unconventional path, and it's a very unique path. And I know there's a lot of people, I can already see it in the comments, that are going to say, you know, hey, go get a job, you lazy millennial. And that's fair, right? That's very fair. But I think we're in a different age now where you don't have to take a factory job. You don't have to take a traditional 9-to-5 to still be able to pay your bills. And everybody out there, you watching this, you have a unique perspective. There's something about you that people will watch, I promise you. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to be this crazy off the wall kind of personality type. You can literally just document your life, and I promise you people will watch it. So, still shaking. I just got done letting them know. And yeah, I'm gonna go work out, because that's what I do when I feel really nervous energy. I'm gonna go work out, take the rest of my day. I just got back from Colorado, so I'm gonna be putting out a Colorado video. And I'm gonna try to plan out this next year very strategically. Budget-wise, content-wise, schedule-wise, to be able to give you guys exactly what you deserve. And that is a full-time, focused, value-driven, value-given person on YouTube. I hope you guys can understand that. And yeah, that's where I leave you. So if there's something you're passionate about, chase it, man. Chase it. Even if you fall flat on your face and you have to give up at some point, at least you tried. So, all right, that's it. I'm gonna go work out and shock my body so I can get rid of all this nervous energy. Okay, bye guys.